Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. And we've got the game number 2 of the doubleheader between the Milwaukee Braves and the Philadelphia Phillies here on July 19th, 1961. And we got Ken Castro back here to manage the Phils. I put the same lineup as you had in game number 1, Ken. You check it out and see if you want to make any changes there. The only difference, I think, in game 2, they start, and I think everybody except for Don FERRARESE, the pitcher. I think everybody else is starting. It started in the game 1 of the doubleheader. Here, I'll show your bench. Sorry about that. Put the bench up here so you know who you got on the bench if you want to make changes. Alrighty, bud. I'll put him back up there for you. Alrighty, let's take a look at the visiting Milwaukee Braves starting lineup. They only made one change in the starting lineup in game 1. Leading off, playing center field is Mac Jones. Playing second, batting second is Frank Boland. Batting third, playing third is Eddie Matthews. Batting fourth and right field is Hank Aaron. Batting fifth, playing first base is Joe Adcock. Batting sixth, playing left field is Frank Thomas. That's a difference. Didn't see that. They got Lee May on the bench, so Frank Thomas is in there. Batting seventh, playing shortstop is Roy McMillan. Batting eighth and doing the catching, Sammy White. They took Joe Torres out, gave him the day off. And on the mound, batting ninth, doing the pitching is Carl Wiley. And for your hometown Philadelphia Phillies, leading off playing right field is Tony Gonzalez. Batting second, playing third is Charlie Smith. Batting third, playing center field, Don Detmer. Oh, I didn't know that, Ken. Cool. And batting fourth, playing left field is Johnny Collison. And batting fifth, playing first base is Lee Walls. Batting sixth, doing the catching is Daryl Johnson. Batting seventh, playing shortstop is Ruben O'Mara. Batting eighth, playing second base is Bobby McCullis. And on the mound, doing the pitching is Don FERRARESE. Let's get down to the field here, folks, and get this game started. And leading it off here for the Milwaukee Braves is Mac Jones. Mac is hitting 286 on the year, folks. Here's the first pitch to him. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Charlie Smith. 1 up, 1 down here in the top of the first. And that brings up Frank Boland now. And Frank's hitting 294 on the year's off to a great start here. And that's going to be a fly ball in the left field. Johnny's out there patrolling left field today. And that is 2 up, 2 down. That'll bring on Eddie Matthews now. Let's see what Eddie can do here, folks. Hey, Tim. And here's the pitch to Matthews. Matthews is hitting 302 on the year, folks. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Charlie Smith. And that'll end the inning, folks. 3 up and 3 down for the Braves. We go to the bottom of the first. Milwaukee, nothing. Phillies coming up. We got Gonzalez. Smith and Detmer due up here for the Phils. Here's the pitch to Tony. He led off the first game of this doubleheader with a home run, folks. And he gets a hold of this one, but he hits it out there to dead center field. A lot of room out there for Jones. He steps back, makes the catch. Out number 1. Here's Charlie Smith. Charlie's hitting 203 on the year. And that's going to be a base on balls. He trots on down to first. Phillies first base runner with 1 out. Brings up Don Detmer. Don's hitting 227 on the year, folks, with Smith down at first, 1 out. And that's going to be a base hit in the center field. Charlie will stop at second. And with 1 out, the Phils are making some noise here in the first. That brings up Johnny. Johnny's hitting 241 on this season, folks. And here's the pitch to Johnny. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. Slow roller. They're not going to be able to turn two. McMillan's up with it. He fires over to Frank Bolin. Charlie will head down the third. Collison's safe at first on the fielder's choice. So we got first and third now with 2 out for Lee Walls. Lee's hitting 281 on the year, folks. Here's the pitch to Lee. And that's going to be a ground ball down to short. Sorry, down the second. Frank Bolin up with it. He'll fire over to Joe Adcock. And that'll end the inning, folks. The Phillies leave 2 on. We go to the top of the second. It's 0-0. We got Aaron, Adcock, and Thomas due up here. Top of the second. Hank's hitting 305 on the year with 18 home runs. And that ball is hit down in the second. Bobby's up with it. He tosses it over to first for out number 1. Brings up Joe Adcock now. Joe's hitting 261 on this season. Off to a little slow start. That ball is hit well. That ball is far. That ball is high. That ball is gone, folks. Home run, Joe Adcock. I said he's off to a slow start, and he proves me wrong in this game. Home run number 17 for Adcock. The Braves take a 1-0 lead here at the top of the second. Going down now for Frank Thomas. Frank's hitting 228. He's off to a slow start too, with 11 home runs and 34 RBIs. And that's a ground ball down the short. Rubin's up with it. He fires over to Walls, and that's 2 outs. Yeah, Ken goes, and that brings up Roy McMillan. He's hitting 203 on the year, folks. See if he can get something going here with 2 outs. And he does, folks. He squares this ball off of Don. And he drives that ball into the gap in right field. It rolls to the wall. Gonzalez goes over, gets it, fires it in. But Mac's standing down at second. And at the very worst, that gets up Sam White here with a chance to drive him in. Let's see if Sammy can do it here. He hasn't gotten many plate appearances, folks. Only 8 at bats. He's hitting 230 on the year. And that is going to be a base hit in the center field, I believe. Yes, it is. And that is going to score McMillan. So Sammy White with a base hit in the right field drives in McMillan. And just like that, the Braves are up 2-0. Sammy down at first for Carl Wiley. Wiley's hitting 080 on the season, folks. See if he can help his own cause here. And he does, folks. That's going to be a base hit in the center field, and all of a sudden Don can't get that all-important 3rd out. White will stop at second with his great catcher speed. We got first and second now. Still 2 outs. And that'll bring up the top of the order here. And Mac the Knife Jones, he's 0 for 1. He grounded out the third his first time up. And that ball is swung on and missed, strike 3. And that'll end the inning, folks, but not until the Braves score 2 and take a 2-0 lead. We go to the bottom of the second. We got Johnson, Amaro, and Malkus due up here for the Phils. Bottom part of the order. Let's see if Darryl can get something started for the Phils here. He's hitting 211 on the season. That ball is hit in the right field. Hank's out there, takes a few steps near the line, makes the catch for out number 1. Here's Ruben Amara. He's hitting 215 on the year. He's off to a slow start, folks. And that ball is swung on and missed, strike 3. Carl gets him out on strikes. 2 up and 2 down now. See what Bobby can do. He's hitting 210 on the year, folks. And that ball is well hit. He squares up this pitch against Carl Wiley, and he drives it in the right field. Hank gets over, cuts it off, keeps him to a single. And that'll bring up Don FERRARESE. Let's see if he can help his own cause here, folks. He's hitting 304 on the year. Not bad, because we don't need no stinking DH. Here's the pitch to Don. And that's going to be hit back to the mound. And that's not going to be hit back to the mound. That's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. And that'll end the inning. The Phils leave another one on, folks. We go to the top of the 3rd. Braves 2, Phillies nothing. We got Frank Bowen and then the big boys. Matthews and Aaron due up. Yeah, I hear you, Ken. And Frank Bowen's 0 for 1. He flew out the left his first time up. And that's going to be hit down the second. Easy play. 1 out. Here's Eddie. Eddie hit a ball down the 3rd his first time up. And that's going to be a base on balls. Matthew walks on down the 1st. Brings up the hammer with 1 out and 1 on. And Hank grounded out the 2nd his first time up. And that's going to be a base hit in the center, in the right field. And with Matthew's speed, he'll make it down the 3rd, folks. We got 1st and 3rd now with 1 out. And that brings up Joe Adcock, who homered his last time up. Joe don't have a lot of speed. Let's see if Ken plays back for the double play or brings the infield in. All right, Ken's playing for the double play. I would too. Like I say, Joe don't have a lot of speed, but he has a home run here today. Here's the pitch to Joe Adcock. And that is going to be a fly ball in the left field. Is that going to be deep enough to score Matthews? No, it's not. Johnny comes in a few steps, makes the catch for the all-important 2nd out here, folks. It'll take a 2-out base hit here by Frank Thomas to get another run in for the Braves. He's 0 for 1. He grounded out to short his first time up. And that's going to be a fly ball in the right field. And the Braves are going to strand too, folks, as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. Big boys get in on, but they can't drive them in. We got the top of the order due up here for the Phillies. Gonzalez, Smith, and Detmer. Hey, Doug. And Tony is 0 for 1. He flew out the center his first time up. And that ball is well hit. Tony squares this one up against Carl. And that ball is hit in the right field. Hank takes it on a bounce, throws it in. And like that, the Phillies got the lead runner on. Hey, Tim. So nobody out. Charlie's up. He is walked his first time up with now Tony down at 1st. Can he keep this going, folks? And that's a ground ball down the 3rd. And Matthews is up with it, fires over to 2nd. Frank keeps the ball, doesn't even make a throw over the 1st. So Smith's down at 1st now with 1 out for Don Detmer. They get the lead runner. And Don is 1 for 1 today with a single his first time up. And that's what the doctor ordered if you're a Braves fan. That ball's hit down to Frank Bolin, over to Mack at short, and then Adcock at first. 4-6-3. Inning double play, folks. And that'll take us to the top of the fourth. Bottom part of the order due up here for the Braves: McMillan, White, and Wiley. And Mack is 1 for 1 with a double his first time up, folks. And that's a ground ball down the third. Smith's up with it. Fires over the walls, 1 out. Old Sammy White got a base hit and drove in a run his first time up, folks. Can he go 2 for 2 today? No, because that's a ground ball down the short. Rubens up with it. Takes his time, throws over the first. 2 up, 2 down. Here's Bar Wiley. He's 1 for 1, singled his first time up, folks. See if he can keep it up. And that's a swing and a miss, strike 3. 1-2-3 goes the Braves, folks. We go to the bottom of the fourth. It's a 2-0 ball game. We got Callis and Walls and Johnson due up here for the Phils. Johnny's 0 for 1, reached on a fielder's choice. And that's a ground ball down to Mack at short. He throws over to Adcock. That brings up Walls now. Nobody on, 1 out. And Lee's 0 for 1. He grounded out to second his first time up. And that's going to be a base hit in the left field, folks. So Lee's aboard now with 1 out. That'll bring up Daryl Johnson. Daryl's 0 for 1. Flew out to Aaron his first time up. And that's going to be a base on balls. And all of a sudden, Carl's getting himself in a little bit of a jam here. First and second, and only 1 out for Ruben Amara. He's 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. And that's going to be a fly ball in the left field. I don't think that's going to be deep enough to get Lee over to third, and it's not. So that is out number 2. Frank throws the ball back into the infield. And here's Bobby. He's 1 for 1 today, folks. Can he get a 2-out base hit and put the Phillies on the board here? No, he can't. That's a fly ball in the right field. And Aaron camps under it and makes the catch. And again, the Phillies strand 2. We go to the top of the 5th. Braves 2, Phillies nothing. Top of the order is due up here for the Braves. Jones, Bolin, and Matthews. Mack is 0 for 2, struck out and grounded out. And that's going to be another swing and a miss. That's back-to-back strikeouts for Jones. 1 down here in the 5th. Hey, Clinton. Yes, I'm using Apba as the main game and then using the board game companion, Clinton. I wish this was back in the 80s. My gosh. I'd have had so many nice stats and all kept with Appa. It would have been awesome. And here comes Frank Bolin. He's 0 for 2. He's flown out the left and grounded out the second. And here's the pitch to Frank. And that's going to be a base hit in the left field. Frank gets on for the big boys. With 1 out, here comes Eddie Matthews. Can he do some damage here today? Eddie's 0 for 1 and walked his last time up. Cool. Is that similar to the Appa, Clinton? Hey, legends. And here's Eddie. Let's see if he can get a base hit here, folks, and do something with Frank down at first. And they don't want nothing to do with Eddie. That's a base on balls. So now it's first and second with 1 out for the Hammer and Hank. And Hank's 1 for 2, grounded out his first time up and lined a single. I thought so. It looks like a pretty good game. I believe, if I remember right, that's what Rob exclamation point did for that Boston Red Sox replay on his channel, if I remember right. So we got one out. Frank Boland's down at second. Eddie Matthews down at first with Henry Aaron up, hitting 307 on the year, folks. 18 home runs and 59 RBIs. Can he add to that total now? Yeah, a little bit, Ken. Eh, They don't got a lot to work with, I can guarantee you that. Here's the pitch to Aaron. And that's what the doctor ordered, though. If you're a Phillies fan, that ball is hit down to Bobby at second, over the short, over the walls, and that's a 4-6-3 inning double play, folks. That's a rally killer. Oh, I bet, Clinton. Yep. Oh, exactly, Doug. I like the diamond, digital diamond with Status Pro. Exactly. Yep. So we go to the bottom of the fifth, folks. We got Ferrarese due up, then Gonzalez and Smith here in the fifth. See if Don can get on base here. He struck out his first time up. And that's going to be a fly ball in the left field. Frank Thomas got some measure of it. Goes over in the gap, makes the catch for out number one. Oh, that's awesome, Legends. Looking forward to it. Hopefully, my Braves do something. How's Dale Murphy look this year? Is he going to crack the starting lineup? Okay, Ken, if Gonzalez gets on, you want to hit and run with Smith? Gotcha. And Tony's up now. He's 1 for 2. He flew out and singled his last time up. And that's going to be a fly ball in the right field. Aaron's got it for out number 2. And that brings up Charlie Smith now with 2 outs. He walked and reached on a fielder's choice his last time up. Here's the pitch to Charlie. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. Carl's pitching a hell of a game here for the Braves, folks. So we go to the top of the 6th. Milwaukee Braves 2, Philadelphia Phillies nothing. We got Adcock, Thomas, and McMillan due up here for the Braves. Cool. Looking forward to seeing some of the Braves games, and hopefully the Murph does well in this. And most of the leagues I've ever done like that, he hits about 225. Still gets about 20 home runs, something like that. Of course, me, I start him over guys like Huff, Duffy and all because I'm a Murph fan. But yeah. Alrighty, Adcock's 1 for 2 with that solo home run, folks, and then he flew out the left. Here's the pitch to Joe. And that's a ground ball down the short. Rubens got that all day and night. 1 out here in the 6th. And that's what you were saying, Ken. And that brings up Frank Thomas now. He's 0 for 2. He's grounded out the short and flew out the right. And that's going to be a pop up in the infield. Charlie Smith calls for it down at third. 2 up and 2 down here in the 6th. And that brings up Roy McMillan. He's 1 for 2 with a double and scored. And that's going to be a base hit in the left field. Max having a hell of a game. He is now 2 for 3. I hope so. Sounds good. Sure. Like I say, you got Joe Adcox. I don't know if you got Fred McGriff with them or not. Yeah, I loved him, Doug. Of course, I mean, he was all they had in the rotten years. That's for sure. And then they trade him to the Phillies and plays for the Phils a few years. And as soon as he leaves the Phillies go on and win the World Series the next year. That was just Dale Murphy's luck. Yeah, they probably should have got rid of him a few years earlier and gave him a shot at winning the World Series. McGriff's with the Rays. Yeah, then I would say Adcock's probably the best first baseman they got. Yeah, I'm sure what Chambliss is with the Yankees. Chris was decent down there. Oh, cool. Alrighty, we got Sammy White up. He's having a good game, folks. 1 for 2 with an RBI. He grounded out the short his last time up, though. You got McMillan down at first. Let's see if he can do something here with 2 outs. And that's going to be a base hit in the center field. Mac's going to make it down the third, folks. How about this? The Braves with a 2 out rally here. Brings up Carl Wiley. And he singled in this game, folks. So let's see if he can keep it up. He's 1 for 2. Struck out his last time up. See if they can get some insurance runs here for himself. Here's the pitch to Carl. And that's a swing and a miss, strike 3. Don gets out of the jam. The Braves don't score any. Let's see if that comes back to bite them in the butt. Oh, exactly. I agree with you, legends. All righty, folks. We go to the bottom of the sixth. Detmer, Callison, and Walls due up here for the Phils. Let's see if they can make some noise here against Carl Wiley. He's pitching a nice game, a 4-hitter so far. Here's the pitch to Don. He has one of those 4 hits. He singled in the first. And he's got another one, folks. He squares this one up. And that ball is hit into the gap in right field. And Don standing down in second with a leadoff double, folks. So we got the lead runner on with nobody out for Johnny. Here's Johnny. He's 0 for 2. Reached on a fielder's choice and grounded out the short. And they don't want no parts of Johnny. They walk him. I don't know if they want to do that. That brings a go-ahead run up to the plate here. All of a sudden, Carl's running into some trouble here in the sixth. That brings up Lee Walls. He's 1 for 2. Grounded out the second and singled his last time up in the fourth. Here's the pitch to Lee. And that's a swing and a miss, strike 3. That's a big out, number 1 for Carl. That brings up Daryl Johnson. Can he induce a ground ball here, folks, and get out of this mess? You want to sacrifice with Daryl? Or did I miss that, bud? Sorry if I missed it. See if Ken wants to sacrifice with Daryl if I missed it with Lee Walls. I'm sorry, Ken, buddy. Well, what was it? It still would probably been a foul ball. Let me look, Ken. With a 13 with a sacrifice with first and second. Yeah, let's look here. If it's a foul ball, we can still do it. We can bring Lee back up here. We can undo this. That's the best part of this. Plus, like I say, that 13 would have just been a foul ball instead of a strikeout. Not a problem. So now we'll do the sacrifice here. And we'll roll again. It's an 0-1 pitch. You still want him to sacrifice? Or you want him to swing away with an 0-1 pitch? Okay, here we go. Walls is going to square around the bunt, folks. An 0-1 pitch. And he gets it down. Nice bunt, folks. That's going to be hit down, bunted down the third. And Matthews' only play is to go to first with Frank Boland covering. So now it's second and third and only one out here, folks. And the Braves will play back. They'll give up the run for an out here. And now here's Daryl Johnson. So Ken Castro with a nice move with the sacrifice bunt. Here's the pitch to Daryl. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. And that's going to be hit down the short, or third rather. And Eddie Matthews looks to runners back, folks. Nice job by Matthews. He fires over to first. And there's 2 outs now with second and third. That was a big out. Carl Wiley, he needs to tip the cap to Matthews there. What happened there? Darn it. Let's go back. Let's go back. Supposed to hold. Ground ball down the third. Let's see, ground ball down the third. Let's see if they hold this time. Alrighty, there we go. And that brings up Ruben now with 2 outs now. He's 0 for 2. He's struck out and he's flown out to the left. Here's the pitch to Ruben. Can he get a 2-out base hit and tie this game up, folks? And that is going to be a fly ball in the center field, and that's not where you want to hit it here in Shives Park, because Jones has got room out there, and the Braves get out of the second and third with 1 out, and nobody scores, folks. We go to the top of the 7th. It's still 2-0 Braves. And we got Jones, Boland, and Matthews due up here at the top of the order. Here's the pitch to Mack. And that's going to be a base on balls. Mack gets on with nobody out here. Brings up Frank Boland now. And Frank is 1 for 3, hitting .294 on the year. And that is going to be a ground ball down the second. No, it's not going to be a ground ball down the second. Poor Don has the W, and he walks the next batter. See if Ken wants to do something. He is due up second, though, in the inning. Back-to-back walks here. Brings up the big boys. I don't know if Don's running out of gas or what. See if Ken wants to keep him in here. You got Matthews, Aaron, and Adcox. Lefty, righty, righty. Okay, Ken wants to make a move here. Take Don out of the game. Bring in Jack. A W kills you, don't it, Ken? Sure. Possible double play. Instead, it's a walk. Alrighty, Jack comes in the game, folks. Let's take a look at his stats here. This is his 47th game. He's 3-4 with a 5.20 ERA. He's way underperforming. 3.88 ERA. Sure. See if you can get the job done. Oh, exactly, Ken. Yep, they are killers, man. Yep. So you got Eddie Matthews due up here against Jack. Here's the pitch to Eddie. And that is going to be a single. Beats out an infield hit, and that loads the bases up, folks. Matthews putting on the Jets here. It's a nice Baltimore chopper. Smith comes in, doesn't have a play on it, though, and eats it. So bases loaded for Hank Aaron. See how Ken wants to play this with nobody out. All right, infield in for Hank Aaron. He's 1 for 3, folks. Here's the pitch from Jack. Excuse me. And that's going to be hit in the right field, folks. 2 runners will score. And Matthews, Eddie makes it down the third, folks. So we got first and third now for Joe Adcock. And Henry Aaron's off with the 2-0 pitch, folks. He's trying to swipe second, and he makes it. And that was ball 3. So we got second and third now with nobody out. And a 3-0 count on Joe Adcox. Keeping the infield in, Ken. Alrighty, a 3-0 count on Joe Adcock. The infield in, folks. It's a 4-0 game. Still nobody out here in the top of the 7th. And hits just keep coming, folks. That's going to be a single down the first baseline. And that's going to score 2. And it's game's getting out of hand quick, folks. Just like that, it is 6-0. Nothing's going right here in the top of the 7th for the Phils. That brings up Frank Thomas now with nobody out. And Joe Adcock down at first, folks. And Joe standing down at first. Frank Thomas is 0 for 3, grounded out, flew out the right field and popped up to third. Here's the pitch to Frank. And this ball is deep. This ball is back. This ball is gone, folks. 2-run homer in the right field, and it is now 8-0. And this might be the rally killing home run. Now, sure. 6-run 7th inning and still nobody out. Sure way. That brings up Roy McMillan, 2 for 3 today with a double and a single. Sure. And here's the pitch to Mac. And just like that, a swing and a miss, strike 3. Just like it happens a lot of time after the big home run. That's just a rally killer. That brings up Sammy White. He's having a heck of a game, folks. 2 for 3 with an RBI. And that's going to be a fly ball in the left field. Callison's got it for out number 2. Yeah, exactly, Doug. Sure. It's Phillies fans. You know how bad they can get. And here is Mr. Wiley now. He's 1 for 3 today. He struck out his last 2 times up, and that's a base on balls. So Carl trots on down the first. And that brings up Mac Jones, folks. And here's the pitch to Mac. And that is going to be a base hit in the center field, folks. And Carl is going to trot on down the third, sure. So now with 2 outs, it's first and third. And Frank Bolin up here today. Frank is 1 for 3. Here's the pitch to Frank. And that ball squared up, folks, and the hits just keep coming for the Braves. And that ball is hit into the gap in center field, left center field, and that'll clear the bases, folks. Sure. And now it is 10-0. Sure. And now Eddie Matthews up with Frank Bolin down at second, folks. And it looks like Jack's just going to take the beating here because he's due up second. Here's the pitch to Eddie as we drop the dice and make this an official game. And that's going to be a ball 4 to Eddie Matthews. And the inning that'll never end. So Eddie walks on down to first. That brings up Hank again with first and second and 2 outs. And here's the pitch to Hammer and Hank. He's 2 for 4 with a stolen base. And that's going to be a single into right field. And Bolin's going to score. Matthews ends up down at third. And we got first and third, folks. Yeah, I'll say, sure. It's crazy, ain't it? And it is 11-0 game. Joe Adcock. All righty, Ken. Who you want to bring in? Sure. Yeah, exactly, Doug. Yeah, correct. Dallas Green is coming in the game, folks. Can he put a stop to this massacre? Joe Adcock's up the bat. You got Matthews down at third, Aaron down at first. Here's the pitch to Joe. And that's going to end this inning mercifully. That ball is hit down the Rubin at short. He goes the short way over to second. but not until the Braves score 9, folks, and blow this game wide open. And we make it to the 7th inning stretch. We got Bobby McLace. We got a pitch hitter for Green, and then back to the top of the order in Gonzalez. Bobby is 1 for 2, folks. Can he get on? No, that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. Carl not looking too bad after sitting on that bench for about 45 minutes. Hey, Beatles, see who Ken wants to pitch hit with for Green. Show you the lefties here, Ken, that you got on the bench. Okay, Ken says let him bat. Dallas is going to stay in the game, folks. With 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Let's see, because we don't need no stinking DHs, do we, Ken? Watch Dallas get a nice base hit here, folks. No, it's a swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Wiley. Like I say, I thought maybe sitting on the bench, he might get beat up a little bit. And that brings up Tony. He's 1 for 3 today, folks. He's flew out the center, singled, and flew out the right. And that's a pop-up straight up the chute. Sammy throws the mask off, makes the catch, and that's a 1-2-3 inning. DH better mean doubleheader. I hear you, Clinton. Yeah. All righty. So we go to the top of the 8th. It's Braves 11, Phillies nothing. Thomas, McMillan, and White due up here for the Braves. Frank's 1 for 4 here with a home run and 2 RBIs on the day. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. 1 out here in the 8th. Brings up Mac now. He's 2 for 4, folks. A double and a single. And that's a ground ball down the short. Rubens up with it. Fires over the walls. 2 up and 2 down. And that brings up Sammy White, who's having a darn good game. He's 2 for 4 with an RBI. And that's going to be a base hit over Rubens' head in the left field. So Sammy gets aboard for his 3rd time today. Brings up Carl Wiley. See what he can do here with 2 outs. And White down at first. He's 1 for 3 with a walk. And that's going to be a pop up on the infield. Who wants it? Smith's going to call for it. Makes the catch, and that'll end the inning. The Braves strand 1 as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Leading by 11. We got Smith, Detmer, and Callison due up here for the Phils. Yeah, correct, Ken. Not their best year by no means, was it? Yeah, Green's doing a decent job. I'll give him that. Yep. And here's the pitch to Charlie. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. McMillan's up with it. Tosses it over to first and 1 out. And that brings up Mr. Don Detmer. He's 2 for 3 with a double, folks. And that's going to be a base hit in the right field. Don is having a good game here for the Phils. That makes him 3 for 4, folks. Don down at first for Callison. Callison's 0 for 2 with a walk. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. And that's 2 outs now. And that's Carl's 6th strikeout of the game, folks. That brings up Lee Walls 1 for 2. And that's popped up behind home plate. Sammy back near the screen, throws the mask off, and that'll end the inning, folks. And again, the Phillies leave 1 on. We go to the top of the 9th. We have the top of the order due up here for the Braves. Jones, Bolin, and Matthews. And here's Mack. He's 1 for 4 today. Oh, it was, wasn't it, Beatles? Yeah, very educational. Learned a lot. Oh, it is, ain't it, Clinton? Crazy. And here's the pitch to Mack, and he squares this ball up against Dallas. And Mack punches that ball into right field. It gets between Gonzalez and Detmer, rolls to the wall. And that'll be a double to start the top of the 9th here. That brings up Frank Bolin now. He's 2 for 4. Oh, that'd be cool. I enjoyed it. Correct, Tim. Ken, I agree. And that's going to be a pop up behind third base in foul territory. And Smith makes the play over there near the dugout. And that's out number 1. Now Matthews up with Jones down at second in scoring position. He's 1 for 2. He's walked 3 times today, folks. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. Matthews goes down. Not a problem, legends. Yeah, not a problem. That brings up Hank Aaron. He is 3 for 5 with 3 RBIs and a stolen base. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. And that'll end the inning, folks. And the Braves strand Mack down at second with that leadoff double. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Well, we see a 9th inning miracle here, folks. Phillies down by 11. Jones, Ruben Amaro, and Buddy Malinkas due up here for the Phillies, the bottom part of the order. Can Carl go the distance with a shutout here? Here's the pitch to Darrell. He is 0 for 2 with a walk. And that is going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. And that is Carl's 7th strikeout of the game, folks. Brings up Ruben. And he is 0 for 3. Struck out, flew out the left, and flew out the center. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. Frank Bolin's up with it. Fires over the Adcock. Phillies are down to the last out. It sounds like a great day to me, Ken. Love it. Well, I love it. And here's Bobby. He is 1 for 3. Can he keep this game alive for the Phils? And no, that's an easy grounder down to Frank Bolin over to Adcock. And mercifully, this game's over for the Phils, folks. 11-0 Braves. Let's take a look at the box score here, folks. Sorry it wasn't a more entertaining game. At least game 1 was entertaining, Ken. I enjoyed that one. I was nip and tuck, had a tie and run at third base with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. Couldn't get it much better than that. The second game sure was a big difference, sure. So the Braves 11 runs on 17 hits and no errors. The Phillies no runs on 6 hits and no errors. Everybody for the Braves got a hit. Only Wiley and Thomas only had one hit. Everybody else had a multiple hit game. Aaron, 3 for 6. White, 3 for 5. Aycock and Thomas with the home runs. Jones, Bolin, and McMillan with doubles. Henry Aaron with a stolen base. And the Braves score 11 and leave 11 stranded. Yeah, it sure did, Tim. Sure. Like I say, after game one being so competitive, and it was 2-0 until that darn seventh inning. Oh, Don Detmer, like I say, was the shining star for the Phillies, 3 for 4. Gonzalez with a hit, Walls with a hit, and Bobby with a hit. Carr goes the distance, 9 innings, 6 hits, no runs, walked 3, struck out 7. Don Ferrarese goes 6 innings, gives up 8 hits, 4 runs, walked 4, struck out 4, and gave up a home run. And poor Jack Blossom comes in 2/3 of an inning and gets shellacked. 7 hits, 7 runs, walked 2, struck out 1, and gave up a home run. Dallas comes in the game and doesn't do bad. Old Green, 2 1/3. 2 hits, struck out 2. Not a bad game by Dallas. Thank you, legends. And I want to thank Ken for coming on here and doing this. This is awesome. I really enjoy it. Let's do some fast play here. I think there's only 2 games in the National League. Yep. We got the Dodgers traveling to Cincinnati, Ohio to take on the Reds. See what happens here. Yeah, exactly. He sure is, Clinton. He's having a heck of a year. I'll show you the stats here in a minute. See what happens here in Cincinnati. Padres against Perky. And the Dodgers, 7 runs on 10 hits and no errors. The Reds, 3 runs on 10 hits and 2 errors. The Reds are slipping away, folks. Supposed to win this pennant. They're like 7 or 8 games back. We'll look at the standings after this. And the only other game here in the National League is the Giants traveling to St. Louis to take on the Cardinals. Yeah, he's doing a lot better than that, I think, for me in the replay, Ken. And the Giants win a close one, folks. 7 runs on 11 hits, 1 error. And the Cardinals, 6 runs on 15 hits and an error. Let's take a look at Carl Wiley's stats here on the year, and then we'll go back and look at the standings. We'll take a look at all the pitchers here. For the Braves. Their pitching's doing great this year for me, that's for sure. Let's bring up game started. Lou Burdette 9-5 with a 3.29. Bob Buell 8-6, a 3.27 ERA. Warren Spahn 10-4, 2.76. Don Noteberg 5-3, a 3.19. And here's Carl 10-1, folks, with a 2.66 ERA. He might have just got the lead in the Cy Young over his teammate Warren Spahn with that performance. Yeah. When I'm off, Clinton, I do a lot of stuff in the mornings. I work this month of September a good bit. What I did in June, July, and August, I was off every other week. That's how Beatles deemed me the streaming demon, because like I say, being off, I was on here a lot. So now with working, I'm normally on here about around 5 or 6 o'clock. I try to get on. Yeah. Cool. Beetle says he's going to do something after this, folks. Let's take a look here at the standings after July 19th. And we got the Braves a game and a half up on the Giants. Like I say, the Reds are slipping away here. They're 8 games back. Still in third place, though. Not bad. They only got to pass 2 teams, so it's doable. Cardinals 9 games back. Dodgers are 10.5 games back. Cubbies 12 games back. Pirates are 16.5 games back. And the poor Phillies, after losing the 2 straight here, are 16.5 games back. Oh, that would be great, Beatles. That'd be cool. Let's see here. Clemente's leading the league with a 350, 349 batting average there, Beatles. How about that? Something for the Pirates to cheer about. That's a normal Tuesday for me. I hear you, legends. Yeah, like I say, this digital diamond version 11 with the board game companion, it got me back in the Apba big time. I forgot how much I love this game once this came out, and I don't have to spend 5 or 6 hours doing stats. It is awesome. It is awesome. You got Willie Mays leading the league with 29 home runs. And look at Orlando Cepeda, 84 RBIs, 14 more than Gene Freeze. Maybe the Reds are going to start hitting. Let's look at the pitching here in the National League. Wiley leading the National League in ERA, folks. 2.66, followed by his teammate, 2.76. Perky down to 2.87. He was leading the league. And Mike McCormick now with 11 wins, leading the National League. Koufax, Spahn, Wiley there with 10. Joey J slipping down, folks. He's up to a 3 ERA and only 9 wins. Don McMahon with 20 saves. The closest one is Roy Face with Pittsburgh with 10. And like I said, Orlando Cepeda leading the league and MVP. And Carl Wiley, like I say, has taken over the Cy Young votes right now, folks. Mike McCormick's moved into second place. Poor Warren Spahn's dropped to third. Yeah. Let's see who's hot over here on the mound. Oh, Henley's hot for the Braves. Pitched a shutout his last game. See who's hot over here in the plate. Bill White hitting 359. Killebrew hitting 429 in his last 9 games. Al Smith hitting 342. Billy Williams hitting 381. Nice. Let's see who has the current hitting streaks here. Juan Javier, 13 game. Roberto Clemente with 11 game hitting streak. How about that? Mac Jones, a 7 game hitting streak for the Braves. The longest one on the year so far has been 17 games by Ken Boyer and just Ken Boyer. Wally Moon was 16. Oh, sounds good, Legends. That should be a good game to start off with. Yeah, hopefully it's a pitcher's duel, not like this one. That's for sure. Alrighty, folks. Well, I'm going to get off here and we'll let Beatles do a game here. We'll go over his channel, see what he's got going on. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for reminders, and on your way out of Philadelphia, hit that like button. Again, I want to thank Ken Castro for managing the Phillies. That was fun, Ken. Let's see if they play a fourth game here, or if it was just a 3-game series with a doubleheader. Oh, you're welcome, legends. Oh, okay, Beatles. I thought you was going to be on next, buddy. Yeah, Ken, they got another game here. We got Henley against Short. So if you're up for another game tomorrow, we'll do that game. Like I say, if you're up for it, buddy, it'd be great. Oh, thank you, Tim. Let's take a look here while we got Ken on here. Oh, that's up to Ken. If he wants to do another game, we can do it. Take a look here at the Phillies here. Look at their stats for Ken here. Like I say, if he's up to do a doubleheader with the Phillies here, with Short against Henley. I hear you. Let's see how Chris Short's doing on the year. He's 5-0 for you. Oh, he's 0-5. Sorry, 0-5 with a 5.83 ERA. See, started 7 games, pitched in 12. Gave up 4 runs the last time. That ain't bad. 3 runs. He's last 3 starts. He hasn't pitched bad in the month of July. 4 runs, 3 runs, and 4 runs. Let's see if he got any wins out of there. Go to reports and team. Go to Phillies. And look at the schedule here. So for July, I think it was he pitched on July 4th. And he got the loss on July 4th, 4-2. Let's see when his next start was. And on the 7th, he got a no decision as the Cubbies won 9-5. And he got the loss 7-3 against the Dodgers. I don't know if Ken left or not. Okay, here. Give Ken a few minutes here, see if he's up for another game, folks. You ready for another one, Ken? Oh, that sounds good. Not good for my sugar, but it sounds good. That's a good one, Legends. I like it. Let's take a look here at the starting lineup here. Last piece, what a shame. So we got Mac. Joe Torres is back in the lineup for the Braves. And we'll see if Ken wants to make some changes here to the Phillies lineup. Darn, Ken's crazy. It looks like it's the same starters, Ken. If you want to do the same thing, bring Gonzalez and Smith up higher in the lineup. Bring Bobby down to 8th. Yeah, ice cream on that peach pie. That'd really be good. That would really drive my sugar up. Okay, move Gonzalez up to lead off. This is the only thing I'm not crazy about with Digital Diamond. Is having to hit this up and down button instead of being able to just flip flop them. But that's just being picky. Darn, sounds good. Move Bobby down to 8th. And of course, I messed up because I moved Smith instead of Bobby after a while. Move Smith back up here. Ken, you're not right. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's been a while since I was 174 too, Legends. Is there any other changes you want to make, Ken? I moved Smith and Detmer up, moved Callison down, and moved Bobby down. You want to keep him in the 6-hole? Alrighty, sounds good. All right, folks, let's take a look here at the Braves starting lineup, and then we'll get to the Phillies. So we got Mac Jones leading off playing center field, and they did make a change here. They took Frank Bolin out, brought in Felix the Cat. So made two changes. Playing second, batting second is Felix Montelia. Batting third, playing third's Eddie Matthews. Batting fourth, playing right field is Henry Hank Aaron. Batting fifth, playing first base is Joe Adcock. Batting sixth, playing left field is Frank Thomas. Batting seventh and doing the catching is Joe Torres. Batting eighth, playing shortstop is Roy McMillan. Batting ninth and doing the pitching is Bob Henley. MV's in the house, folks. And for the hometown Philadelphia Phillies, leading off playing right field, Tony Gonzalez. Batting second, playing third base, Charlie Smith. Batting third, playing center field, Don Detmer. Batting fourth, playing left field is Johnny Callison. Batting fifth, playing first base is Lee Walls. Batting sixth, doing the catching now is Clay Darkmuffle. And batting seventh and playing shortstop is Ruben Amara. Batting eighth and playing second base is Bobby McMillis. And batting ninth, doing the pitching is Chris Short. Let's get down to the field here, folks, and get this game started here on July 20th. And we got Mac Jones to lead off the top of the first here for the Braves. Mac's hitting .303 off to an excellent start with the Braves here. Has a 7-game hitting streak going, folks. Here's the pitch to Jones, and that's hit straight up the chute. And Clay's going to make the play for out number one. Tosses the mask, and down goes Jones. They love you, MV, in that Red Bolt Nation, I'll tell you. Red Bolt Nation. And here comes Felix the cat up, folks. Felix is hitting a $125 in limited play. This is his 24th game, 48 plate appearances, folks. Let's see if the cat can get something started here. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. And that'll be out number 2, folks. 2 up and 2 down. That brings up Eddie. And Eddie's hitting .302 on the year with 19 home runs now and 66 RBIs. And that's going to be a base hit in the left field. Eddie with a 2-out hit. It brings up Hammer and Hank. And here's the Hammer. And Hank's hitting .309 on the year with 18 home runs. Matthews down at first, 2 outs. And that ball's squared up, folks. Can Hank drive one out of this park? And that ball is hit in the right field, folks. It's bouncing along that wall, heading into center field. Matthews is chugging around second and the third. He's going home, folks. And that brown-eyed, handsome man, Hank Aaron's trying for a triple. And what does he get, Beatles? He's got a what? A triple, folks. Hank Aaron with an RBI triple puts the Braves on the board just like that. Again, the Phillies with their problems getting that final out of the inning. And that brings up Joe Adcock now with Aaron down at third. Here comes the pitch to Joe Adcock. And that's a base hit in the left field, folks. And that's going to score Hammer and Hank. And just like that, again, 2-out rally. And it's 2-0 Braves. Here comes Frank Thomas up now. That's right, a triple, folks. And here's Frank. Frank is hitting .227 on the year with 12 home runs and doing well in the home run department. His batting average is a little low. See what he can do here against Short. And that's going to be a base hit in the center field. And Adcock is going to stop at second with his great speed, folks. So again, 2 outs. Hitting by the Braves. It's first and second now. More torture. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping it's a game here, Ken. That brings up Joe Torre. He's batting 252 rather, not 42, 252 on the year. Here's the pitch to Joe. And that'll end the inning, folks. Maybe not. That might be an error. Yeah, it is an error. That ball is hit the short back at the mound. He throws the ball in the ground. Wall stops it. But that loads the bases, folks. He can't even help his own cause. Bases loaded now for Roy McMillan. Mack up now with a .206 batting average. And that's not right, folks. That ball is hit down the first baseline. And that's going to score 2. Joe Torre is going to end up down at third. And the Braves have just busted this game wide open here in the first inning, folks. Just like that, it is 4-0. And now we got Bob Henley up with first and third and 2 outs. All this is happening with 2 outs, folks. Remember, he got the first 2 batters out, and here is the 9th batter of the inning. Unbelievable. And here's the pitch to Bob. Bob's hitting. Bob ain't hitting. He is 0 for 10 on the year, folks. And you know it's a bad game if he gets a hit here, folks. And that's a ground ball back to the mound. And that'll finally end the inning. But the Braves send 9 batters to the plate and take a 4-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the first. Phillies yet to bat and already down by 4. Top of the order, obviously, is up Gonzalez, Smith, and Detmer. Gonzalez is hitting .333 on the year, folks. Can he get the Phillies started here and try to scratch back some of these runs? Yes, he does, folks. He squares this up against Bob Henley. And that ball is driven into right field. Aaron makes a nice play, cuts it off, keeps Tony down at first with a single. So now we got Mr. Smith comes to Philadelphia. He's batting 200 on the year, folks, with Tony down at first, nobody out. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike three. Out number one here in the game for the Phils. Brings up Don Detmer, who had a good game his last time. He was 3 for 4, folks. He's gotten that batting average up to 237. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike three. Back-to-back strikeouts here for Bob Henley after giving up the leadoff single. And here's Johnny. He's hitting 239 on the year. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. And the cat light reflexes down there, throws the ball over the short, and that'll end the inning. The Phillies leave one. We go to the top of the second. It's 4-0 Braves. We got the top of the order due up again. Jones, Montelia, and Matthews here for the Bravos. Jones popped up behind home plate his first time up, folks. And he's going to hit that ball down the second for out number one. That's how the first inning started. And then comes the cat. And the cat, he grounded out the second his first time up. And that's going to be a fly ball in the right field. 2 up and 2 down, just like the first inning. Let's see if Short can get that all-important third out here. Because here comes Eddie. Eddie started that 4-run rally with a single. And not this time, because that's a fly ball into the gap in right field. Gonzalez runs over, makes a nice catch. 1, 2, 3 goes the Braves this inning. Yeah, I guess he had to, Ken. Sure. Yeah, I don't think he did it for free. Yep. All righty, we go to the bottom of the second. We got Walls, Darmuffle, and Ruben due up here in the second. Here's the pitch to Lee Walls. He is batting 283 on the year, folks. One of the bright spots in this Phillies lineup. And that's going to be a pop-up behind home plate. Joe Torres throws the mask off, makes the catch for out number one. Let's see what Clay can do here, folks. Clay's hitting a $196 on the year. And that's going to be a ground ball down to McMillan at short. Over to first for out number two. See if Ruben can get a 2-out rally going here for the Phils. He's hitting 211 on the season. And that's going to be a strike one on him. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Ruben. And he squares that one up, folks. Drives that ball into the left field for the first base runner here in the second. So Ruben trying to spark a 2-out rally. See if Bobby can do something here. He's hitting 211 on the year also. Here's the pitch to Bobby. And that's a base hit in the center field. Ruben's going to chug on down the third, turns on the Jets. And all of a sudden, the Phillies are making some noise here with 2 outs, first and third. And that brings up Mr. Short. Can he help his own cause here, folks? And Mr. Short's hitting .062 on the year, 16 plate appearances. And how about this, folks? That ball is driven into right field. That ball is deep, but not deep enough. Aaron makes a nice catch, folks. I thought he was going to help his own cause out. But Aaron with a nice catch out there. Rob short of a base hit and an RBI. The Phillies can't buy a break. Sure. And that'll bring up Aaron after making that nice catch. Adcock and Thomas. See if Heron can do something now with after making that great play. He hit the triple his first time up, folks. And that's going to be a base hit into center field. And Detmer lets that ball go by him. Aaron paying attention. He's going to race down the second, folks, on that E8. So now Aaron's down at second with nobody out, with a base hit in an error. Now to bring up Joe Adcock now, folks. Nobody out. Adcock, he got a single and RBI and scored his first time up. And that ball is hit in the center field again, folks. And that's going to be deep enough to score Aaron. And just like that, the Braves add to this lead. It is now 5-0 Bravos. And that brings up Frank Thomas now with Aaron down at first, and Adcock down at first, and still nobody out. Here's the pitch to Frank. And that's going to be a base on balls. And Short can't get out of his own way now, folks. First and second, and nobody out here in the third. Here's Joe Torres up. He is 0 for 1. He reached on an error his first time up. Phillies are looking to turn 2 here. Here's the pitch to Joe. And that ball is hit down the short. Can they turn 2? That is Ruben over to second, over to first, and Joe beats it out. But they do get the lead runner. That's 1 out here, folks, in the third. Brings up McMillan now. He's 1 for 1 with 2 RBIs. And that's a ground ball down the third. Again, can they turn 2 here, folks? No. Charlie's only play is going to be down the first. So that's 2 outs. Torrey gets down the second. And Adcock's will score on this, folks. And that makes it a 2-run inning so far. And here comes Bob Henley up with a runner down at second. And that's going to be a fly ball in the right field. Gonzalez has got it. But the Braves add 1, and it is 2 rather, and it is 6-0, folks. So we go to the bottom of the third. We got the top of the order due up here for the Phillies. Gonzalez, Smith, and Detmer. See if Tony can get something going. He singled his first time up, folks. And he singles again in the right field. One bright spot here in this game for the Phillies so far, folks. Tony's aboard now again with nobody out. Oh, cool. Sounds good, Beatles. I'm definitely rooting for the Phillies. I'm no Dodger fan, that's for sure. With being a Yankees fan when I was a kid and a Braves fan now. Sure. Hate them stinking Dodgers. All righty. Here comes Charlie Smith up now. He is 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. And he's not going to strike out this time, folks. That's a well-hit ball into, I think, right field. See if Gonzalez can make his way down the third. He sure does. And all of a sudden, the Phillies are making some noise here in the bottom of the third. We got first and third and nobody out, folks. With a 6-run lead, of course, the Braves are going to play back looking for the double play. Got Don Detmer up now. He's 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up, folks. And that's going to be a ground ball down to, I think, down the second. Now that's a ground ball down the first. Joe Adcock's up with it. He fires down the second with McMillan covering. And back to Joe Adcock's. We got a 3-6-3 double play, folks. But the run does score. The Phillies are on the board. Now with nobody on for Johnny. And he's 0 for 1. He reached on a fielder's choice his first time up. And that's a pop up behind home plate. Torres makes the catch for the final out. But the Phillies do get on the board in this game, folks. It is 6-1. We got the top of the order due up again for the Braves. Jones, the Cat, and Eddie. And Max, probably the only Brave that hasn't gotten a hit in this game, folks. He's 0 for 2. And he's going to be 0 for 3. Short's got his number. That's a swing and a miss strike 3. One down here in the 4th. Old Felix is 0 for 2 also. And that's a ground ball down to Charlie Smith at 3rd. Over the walls. 2 up and 2 down again, but that's how the first inning started, folks. Let's see if he can get that all-important 3rd out here with Eddie up. Eddie's 1 for 2, scored in the 1st. And that's going to be a 1-2-3 inning. That's a deep fly ball in the right field, but Gonzalez is out there near the track, makes the catch. The Braves go down in order for the first time here today, folks. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Walls, Clay, and Ruben due up. Let's see if they can make some noise against Bob Henley. Down by 5. And Lee is 0 for 1 today. He popped up to the catcher's first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the Cat at 2nd. Over to Adcock. 1 down. And here's Clay Darmuffle. He is 0 for 1. He grounded out the short his first time up. And he pops it straight up the chute. Easy play for Torrey. 2 up and 2 down. And that brings up Ruben. And he's 1 for 1 today, folks. And that's going to be hit down the first base. Joe Adcock takes it himself. 1-2-3 goes the Phils. We move to the top of the 5th. Braves 6, Phillies 1. We got the big boys due up here. Aaron, Adcock, and Thomas. And Hank's 2 for 2 today, folks. He's got a triple and a single. Let's see if he can go for the cycle. He's got the hard one out of the way. And he squares this one up, folks. He's all over short today. And that's going to be a double down the first baseline. How about that? Hank Aaron going for his 2nd cycle of the year here, folks. He's standing down at 2nd with nobody out for Joe Adcock. All Henry needs now is a home run for the cycle, folks. We'll keep an eye on that. Brings up Joe Adcock. He's also 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs and scored twice. Here's the pitch to Joe. And that's going to be a base hit in the right field, and that's going to score Aaron. And just like that, the Braves get that 1 run back and take a 6-run lead again. And still nobody out. And Short's due up 2nd, so Ken might be trying to get him through this 5th inning, folks. They've used that bullpen up pretty good in the last 2 games of that doubleheader. And here's Frank Thomas up now. He's 1 for 1 and with a walk his last time up. And that is a swing and a miss strike 3. Frank goes down on strikes. Brings up Joe Torre now. He's 1-0 for 2. Reached on an error and a fielder's choice. And that's going to be a wild pitch by Short. So Joe Adcock will make his way down to 2nd on the wild pitch. 1 out and a runner in scoring position. A 1-0 count to Joe Torre. And that's a fly ball in the right field. Is that deep enough to get a slow-moving Joe Adcock down the 3rd? Yes, it is, folks. That ball was driven in the right field for Joe to tag up. So we got a runner on 3rd, 2 outs now for Roy McMillan. And Roy's 1 for 2 with 3 RBIs on the day, folks. And that's going to be a ground ball back to the mound. Easy play for short over to first, and that'll end the inning. The Braves strand one, but score one and lead this game 7-1, folks. And here comes Bobby. He's 1 for 1 today. See if he can keep this perfect game going. And that is a ground ball down the McMillan at short. 1 out. See if Ken wants to pitch hit here for short in the 5th inning. All righty, old Poncho's going to come in here and pitch hit, folks. And that'll be it for Chris Short today. A short outing by Short, pun intended. Oh, Cisco. Oh, Poncho. There's Poncho. See if he can get something started here with 1 out and nobody on for the Phillies. And that's a ground ball down the Felix at second. And that'll be 2 quick outs here in the 5th. And we're back to the top of the order, and a bright spot in this game right now, Tony Gonzalez. What just happened here? There we go. So here's the pitch to Tony. He's 2 for 2 today. And he's going to be still 2 for 2. Because Bob don't want nothing to do with Tony, and he walks him. 2 outs now. Gonzalez down at second for Charlie Smith. Charlie's 1 for 2. He struck out and singled his last time up. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Frank Thomas and left. He ranges over near the line, makes the catch for out number 3, folks. See who Ken wants to bring in here to pitch now. Owens, I think, is pitching the next game, Ken. So go with Lehman. We'll check here. It'll tell you who the next 5 starters are. But I believe he's pitching the next game. Yeah, he's pitching one of the next games. Got him 3rd on there, but I think he's pitching the next one. Alrighty, we'll go with Lehman and see what Ken Lehman can do here, folks, against the Bravos. He'll be facing Henley, then the top of the order, Jones and the Cat. See what happens here with Bob. Bob's 0 for 2, grounded out to the pitcher and flew out. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. Nice piece of pitching by Lehman. Comes in and gets the first out. That brings up Mr. Jones. He's 0 for 3 today. Struck out his last time up, and that's back-to-back strikeouts for Lehman. 2 up and 2 down here for the Braves. See if the cat can at least make contact here, folks. He's 0 for 3. And he does make contact. That is going to be a pop-up out to third base. So 1, 2, 3 goes the Braves. And we go to the bottom of the 6th. It's still 7-1 Braves. We got Callison, Walls, and Clay due up here for the Phils in the 6th. Can they make some noise and finally get the Bob here? They've scored 1 on him. Here's Johnny, and that's a fly ball out to Henry Aaron. He's got that measured over in the gap for out number 1. Mr. Walls is up now. He's 0 for 2. And he's going to be 0 for 3 because that's a slow roller down the short. Milling up with it for out number 2. And let's see if Clay can get something going here. As Ken put him in the lineup, he's 0 for 2. He's popped up to Joe Torres and he's grounded out the second. And that's going to be a deep fly ball in the right field. Aaron's going back, makes the catch near the wall for out number 3, folks. He gave it a ride, but the park held it. And that'll bring us to the 7th inning. Matthews, Aaron, and Adcock due up here in the 7th. Eddie's 1 for 3. He scored. And that's going to be a fly ball in the deep center field. Plenty of room out there for Don Detmer. And that's out number 1. It brings up Henry. And Henry's having a heck of a game, folks. He's 3 for 3 with a triple, a double, and a single. All he's looking for is that elusive home run for the cycle. Can he get it, folks? Here's the pitch. And that's a deep fly ball in the center field, but that's Death Valley out there, folks, where all good hits go to die. And that is a fly ball. Hit about 390, but that is out number 2. Aaron could have pulled that ball just a little bit and had a home run, folks. That brings up Joe Adcock. He's also 3 for 3 with 3 RBIs, folks. And he's going to be 4 for 4 as he drives that ball in the right field. He's standing down at first now with 2 outs. As we know, the Phillies have had trouble getting this 3rd out. Here comes Frank Thomas. He's 1 for 2 with a walk. And that's going to be a fly ball in the left field. Johnny steps in a few steps, makes the catch. The Braves strand 1. We go to the 7th inning stretch. Phillies got the bottom part of the order due up here, folks. Ruben, Bobby, and probably a pitch hitter for Lehman. Here is the pitch to Ruben. He's 0 for 2, folks. And that's going to be a ground. That's a fly ball right in the right field. 1 out. Bobby gets something going here with 1 out. He's 1 for 2. And he is, folks. He drives that ball in the right field. Aaron's not getting to this one, folks. That's a base hit. See what Ken wants to do here with Lehman. Did I have him in the wrong spot? I sure did. What happened there? Bobby's up now. Sorry about that. I got this all messed up when I brought him in. Put him in the wrong darn spot. Alrighty, Bobby's up. Sorry about that, folks. 1 out and Ruben down there. Sure. And that's going to be a base hit. And all of a sudden, the Phillies are making some noise, folks. We got first and second and only 1 out. Now let's see what Ken wants to do with Lehman. Let him see the bench here. And And the left-handed bats, put them up top. Tony the Tiger. I don't think he's on the roster there, Ken. No, he's not on the roster. Alrighty, West is definitely on the roster. West Covington's coming in to pitch hit, folks. Oh, I can go back and look, but I don't have his card out. It's the only reason I'm pretty sure he's not, but we'll go back here and look here, Ken. Make sure. Normally I got everybody's card out that's on the roster. And so that was a base hit. Pitch hit here and check. I want to make sure I don't mess anything up here for Ken. No, like I say, yeah, I was right. He's not on the roster. So we'll bring West in. Alrighty, we got one out. Runners down at first and second. Ruben down at second. Bobby down at first for West Covington. West is hitting 471 on the year, folks, and limited playing time with the Phillies. He's played with 4 teams this year. I know he's played for the Braves, the Phillies, and the White Sox, and I can't remember the 4th team. So here we go for West. Can he be a hero here, folks? No, not today. Bob's got his number. That's a swing and a miss, strike 3. West goes down on strikes. It's 2 outs now, but here's the man. If you are a Phillies fan, you want up here right now. He's 2 for 2 with a walk here today, folks. Tony Gonzalez. And now I jinxed his butt. That ball's hit down to Frank Bolin. He'll take the short way over to second, and the Phillies leave 2, folks, as we go to the top of the 8th. See who Ken wants to bring in here to pitch now. Yeah, he might have been injured now or something, Ken, because this is as played lineups I'm going with. So if they're not available, excuse me, then I can look it up real quick and see what games he actually played in. Take a look here. Take a look here. July to August, I figured. Let's see here. Oh, the Phillies. Yeah, he must have got hurt in that July 9th game and comes back August 13th. Good job, Clint. All righty. See who Ken wants to bring in here to pitch. You got Torrey, McMillan, and Henley due up, Ken. So all three righties. You telling me they're annoying, Beatles? Yes, they are. And now they got the videos at play. It's a pain in the butt. Oh, you're welcome, Ken. All righty. Paul Brown coming in here to pitch, folks. Let's see what Paul can do. What can Brown do for you? He'll be facing the bottom part of the order here. Torrey, McMillan, and Henley. Here's the pitch to Joe. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. Easy play for Ruben. So one up, one down. And that'll bring up Roy McMillan now. Joe is 0 for 4 today. Let's see what Roy can do. He's 1 for 3. And that's going to be a ball hit down the short. And Ruben doesn't make the play this time, folks. He bobbles that ball. He keeps it himself, doesn't throw it over. Max down at first with an 86. So now the defense is leaving them down. That is the third error of the game here for the Phillies. Brings up Bob Henley now. One out, one on. Oh, cool. How far are you in on it, Ken? Here's the pitch to Bob. Bob's 0 for 3. Not anymore, folks. That's going to be a base hit, an infield single for Bob Henley, because we don't need no stinking DH here. How about that? Henley's aboard with one out now. Mr. Jones is 0 for 3, 0 for 4. Don't sell him short. See what happens here with Mac the Knife. Here's the pitch. And he squares this one up, folks. And that's going to be a double in the left center field. And that's going to score both runners, folks. And just like that, it is 9-1. Mac Jones with a 8-game hitting streak still alive now, folks. Came into the game with a 7-game hitting streak. And here comes Mr. Phillies. He is 0 for 4. See if he can get off this nod here. Yes, he can, folks. That's going to be a single in the right field. And with Jones's speed, he'll score easily. And just like that, the Braves have added 3 more runs here in the 8th with a 1 out. And Brown, all he's delivering is hits. Oh, 10 games over 500. Cool. That brings up Eddie Matthews. He's 1 for 4 on the day. Phillies down at first. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Strike 3. And this will probably be Hank Aaron's last time up, folks. Can he hit a home run here, folks, and get the cycle? Here's the pitch to Henry Aaron. And that's going to be a base hit in the ground. He beats it out. So that's a nice game, but that ain't a home run, folks. He goes 4 for 5 today. Joe Adcock's up now with first and second. 2 outs here. Joe has a perfect game going 4 for 4 with 3 RBIs, folks. And he keeps that going. That ball is hit in the left field. And Felix with his speed's going to score. And Aaron's going to get down the third. We got first and third now, still 2 outs. Again, the Phillies can't get out of the inning. Oh, cool. How far are you along in that bats? I know you're playing a good bit. Brings up Frank Thomas now. He's 1 for 3 with an RBI and scored. And it is 11-1, folks. And again, the hits just keep coming. And that is going to be hit in the right field. And Joe Adcox will stop down at second, folks. And we got first and second now, and it is now 12-1 Braves. Sure. That brings up Joe Torre now. He's 0 for 4. And he's staying 0 for. That's a swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll finally end this inning. The Braves score 5 more, folks, as we go to the bottom of the 8th. And it is a 12-1 ball game. No, that is awesome. And you're playing every game, right? Sure. That is awesome, Ken. We got Smith, Callison, and Walls due up. Oh, that'll be fun. I like that. Here's Charlie. Charlie is 1 for 3. And that's going to be a fly ball in the left field. Frank Thomas makes the catch. That'll bring up Johnny Callison now. See if Johnny can get something going for the Phillies. He's 0 for 3. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. And that is the 4th strikeout here by Bob Henley. And that'll bring up Mr. Walls. And he is 0 for 3. Sorry, it brings up Johnny. And Johnny just hit that ball in the center field for out number 3. 3 up and 3 down goes to Phillies. We go to the top of the 9th. McMillan, Henley, and Jones due up here in the 9th. And that is going to be a base hit by Mac. Mac's having a good game. He's 2 for 5. As he hits that ball in the left field. Bob Henley's got a hit here today. Yeah, I like to get that too, Beatles. But I got so much I want to do. It's crazy. I want to do that out of the Park World Series, replay every World Series. I had the franchise teams. I don't know if I can find them. They got buried when I moved, but I got I think there was like 30 teams I had. I don't think I got 32. Yeah, I love playing with dice. I mean, I know Steve Tate gets on me, but there's just something about the dice. I know some people don't like to hear it, but I like to hear the roll of the dice. To me, it's like the sound of the ball coming in when it cracks the mitt, or the crack of the bat when you roll that 66 and you know that ball's going. I just like it. The Red Bolt convention. I hear you, MB. Oh, man. Oh, gosh. MB, I love you. Here's the pitch to Henley. Can he get another hit here, folks? He's 1 for 4. No, that's going to be a ground ball down the third. Can they turn 2 here, folks? Smith's up with it. He's going to fire down the first. Unable to get Mac. So that's out number 1. Henley goes out. We got Mac down at second with 1 out for Jones. Jones is 1 for 5. Oh, I'm sure he'll be a very pleasant winner, Beatles. He won't remind us of anything about doing that. We'll have to bring it up. No way MV would let anybody know something like that. Bernard's going to beat you? MV, I think it's going to be between you and Kentucky. You guys are awesome. A Kentucky team, if you can get some hits against them, you'll be all right. That's a hell of a pitching staff. Big Clues got. Alrighty, here's the pitch to Jones. He is 1 for 5, folks. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Jones goes down on strikes, folks. And that is out number 2 here in the ninth. And here comes Felix the Cat. He's 1 for 5 today. And that's going to be a fly ball in the right field. Gonzalez has got it. McMillan stranded down at second. We go to the bottom of the ninth, folks. It's 12-1 Walls. Clay and Ruben do up here. Can they do something here in the ninth, folks? Lee is 0 for 3. He's just trying to get off the snide. And he does, folks. That is a base hit in the right field. And the Phillies, the fighting Phils here, trying to come back. Yeah. Yeah, me and you talked about that, Ken. Yep. Here comes Clay. Can Clay do something? He's 0 for 3. And that's a swing and a miss strike 3. 1 out here in the ninth. And here comes Ruben. And he's having a good game, folks. 2 for 3. Darn. Alrighty, and that's going to be a ground ball down the second. Can the Braves turn 2 and finish this game off? Felix is up with it. He tosses it over to McMillan, but there's no play at first, folks. So there's 2 down now. It's all up to Bobby. Keep this game going. And he is 2 for 3. He's having a damn good game. And he's keeping this game going, folks, because that's a base hit in the right field. And Ruben's going to trot on down the third. So we got first and third now with 2 outs. And let's see who Ken wants to pitch hit here for Brown. All right, let's see if Elmer can keep this game going, folks. Here comes Elmer. He's batting 500 on the year for the Phils. Just got called up. It's only a 6th game. He's got 4 bats, 2 hits here. And let's see if Elmer can keep this game going. First and third, 2 outs. And that's going to be a fly ball in the center field. Jones camps under it, and that'll end this ball game, folks. And the Braves win 12-1. Another massacre here in Philadelphia. Sorry, Ken, this wasn't a better game, bud. After that first game, I thought we was going to have some decent games. Let's take a look here at the box score. Oh, cool, Tim. Looking forward to it, bud. So the Braves 12 runs on 17 hits and no errors. The Phillies 1 run on 9 hits and 3 errors. Hank Aaron 4 for 5 with a double, triple, and 2 singles, folks. Home run shy of the cycle. And you had Joe Adcox 5 for 5, folks, with 4 RBIs on the game. McMillan with 3 RBIs. Mac the Knife Jones, he keeps his hitting streak going. And let's look at the Phillies here. Gonzalez was the only bright spot. Him and Bobby. Bobby was 3 for 4. Not bad. Ruben 2 for 4. They left 8 men on. How many did the Braves? The Braves also left 8 men on. Bob Henley, 9 innings, gives up 9 hits, 1 run, walked 1, struck out 5. Poor Short, 5 innings, 9 hits, 7 runs, 5 earned, walked 1, struck out 2. Lehman, 2 innings, 1 hit, struck out 2. And then Brown comes in, gets lit up. 2 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, only 2 of them earned though. Let's do some fast play here. We'll do both American and National League here. We got the Red Sox traveling to Cleveland to take on Cleveland baseball 879's Tribe. See what happens here, and see if the Indians can get a win against the Red Sox here. No, the Red Sox squeak one out. 4 runs on 7 hits and no errors. Indians 3 runs out hit the Red Sox, but where it counts, they don't. 10 hits and no errors. Oh, here's a good matchup. Steve Barber against Mossy. Orioles traveling to Detroit, trying to avoid being swept, folks. See what happens here. Tigers have won 9 out of 10, and the Orioles avoid being swept. Steve Barber with a nice game. 5 runs on 11 hits and no errors. The Tigers 1 run on 4 hits and 2 errors. Brooks Robinson 3 for 5 with a home run and 2 RBIs, folks. And Beetle says he's going to be pitching Sandy Koufax today. Well, Sandy's going up against the Reds here. Got Koufax going up against Jay. Let's see what happens here in Cincinnati, Ohio. And the Dodgers get beat. What's the star here for? Maury Will steals 3 bases in the loss, folks. Dodgers 4 runs on 10 hits and an error. The Reds 7 runs on 11 hits and no errors. We got the Cubs taking on Beatles Pirates. See what happens here in Pittsburgh, PA. And the Pirates win a close one, Beatles. The Cubbies 1 run on 4 hits and no errors. The Pirates 2 runs on 7 hits and no errors. Gibbon, look at that, 9 innings, 4 hits, and an 1 run. And then the last game here on July 20th, we got the Giants taking on the Cardinals. See what happens out here in St. Louis. And the Cardinals beat the G-Men. The Giants 2 runs on 5 hits and an error. Cardinals 4 runs on 10 hits and no errors. Take a look here at the standings after July 20th. And in the American League, the Yankees are now a game and a half up on the Tigers. Orioles are now 5.5 games back. White Sox are 6.5 games back. The Twins 9.5. Red Sox are 16.5 along with the Angels. Then the Tribe is 21 games back. The Senators 26.5 games back, and the poor A's are 31.5 games back on a 13-game losing streak. See, Beatles, there's always somebody doing worse than you. Look at it like that. And then in the American League, the Braves have opened up a 2.5 game lead over the Giants. The Reds are still 8 games back. Cardinals are now 9 games back. The Dodgers are 11.5. The Cubbies 13. And Beatles Pirates are 16.5 games back. And the poor Phillies 27.5 games back. Alrighty, guys. I want to thank Tim D, Beatles, NV. A special thanks to Ken Castro for managing these Phillies in these 2 games. I appreciate it, Ken. It's been a blast. I've enjoyed it. Clinton Parks. Check out all these great channels, folks. Beatles and Legends was in here. Tim, Cleveland baseball fan 879, says he's going to be doing the Cubs Rockies game, premiering it tomorrow around 4:30 or 5 o'clock in Eastern Standard Time in the evening. Try not to miss anybody. I said Legends was in the house. Legends is going to start the baseball league back up on Friday. He says he's going to at least do a double header, maybe a triple header. So check that out on Friday, folks. And I believe we got everybody. I didn't leave anybody out. Sorry if I did, folks. Oh, Doug Hunt was in here. Sorry about that, Doug. Almost missed you. And I believe that's everybody, folks. Beetle says he's going to do that Dodgers game, folks. So we'll go over and watch that. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Ken. Yeah, exactly, Beatles. You're right. Oh, thank you, Ken. Like I say, I'm having a blast with it. Sure. Like I say, this was the first cards and dice game I ever bought. I was like, guess I was 12 years old, 12 or 13. Yep. Got this. Got it out of the Sporting News. Mom bought me and Dad a subscription to the Sporting News. Seen a big ad in there with Dale Murphy's actual card in there, and that's back when you had to send a coupon off just to get a brochure to order it. You couldn't even order it through the Sporting News. You had to send that little coupon in. I'm sure you remember it. It was Dale Murphy and Lamar Hoyt is the actual cards they sent you with the brochure. And then I ordered the game. Back then, that was a lot of money for a 12-year-old. I asked Mom to go get me a money order. But yeah, with this digital diamond, being able to keep track of all the stats, it's just wonderful, man. Sure. I used to like doing the stats by hand, but heck, when it takes you 4 or 5 hours and I could have done maybe 6 games in that time, what the heck? Oh, that was a great magazine or newspaper. It wasn't no magazine, that was a newspaper. All the stats for the week. I mean, geez, you Pete's. Every box score, great articles, great features. Yeah. Oh gosh, Ken. If I had this back then, I mean, I played a boatload of games during the summer. I mean, that's about all we did. Me and Troy Carter. He played Appa with me, and I played Status Pro with him. and that's all we did. Baseball. I mean, we used to spend the night with each other and be up 1, 2 o'clock in the morning playing games. But yeah, the gosh. And another thing I like about it is, as long as I don't screw nothing up, that library is always going to be there. All I got to do 5 years from now, click on that and say, man, remember that, and go back and click on any box score you want and look at stuff. It is just so awesome. Tim says 4:30 tomorrow, Cubs against the Rockies. Yeah, he was telling me about that Beatles. That is funny story, sitting in the university playing board games. Yeah. Yeah, I used to play this game so much. I didn't realize how annoying the dice rolls was, I guess, to my dad. He's in there trying to watch TV, and he used to yell out there, "Can you give them damn bones a break, boy?" But yeah, if they had stuff like this, geez, you Pete's, he'd have really got aggravated with me. Alrighty, guys. Well, I'm going to get off here so Beatles can get something started here, folks. What time is it? It's only 9:30. Not too bad. We've been on here for almost 2.5 hours. Oh, exactly. Yeah, that's all I played back then was Appa and Status Pro. Yep. Like I say, Troy Carter, he had Status Pro. He never heard of Appa, and I never heard of Status Pro. Yep. Oh, you're welcome, Legends. Like I say, everybody, Friday night, Legends is starting baseball up. Check that out, man. He's starting off with Indians and the A's. Should be a hell of a matchup. And then he's going to do at least one more game. He said he's going to try to get 3 in on Friday. Alrighty, guys, I'm going to get off here and get something to drink. I'm thirsty as hell. Until next time, you all have a great evening. Like I say, check out Beatles channel here in a little bit. He's going to be doing a game. Until then, you all have a nice evening and take care.